joy song is up on the wall. I'm glad for this new one. Beautiful. A lot of lovely voices here this morning. Welcome everyone to Valley Community Church of Divine Science, and we're so glad to see you all here this morning. Do we have anybody new celebrating for the first time? Faces? Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. We do ask all of you to silence your telephones. Take this moment to silence them. And this morning we have our music, Joy Truskowski. It's so exciting. And our at-one-month reader is Tammy. You're up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
New Year 2019. Another year has passed, another full circle around the sun. The days, the weeks, the months, and the seasons have come and gone. A new year full of many more is ready to be lived. Another year from now, how will you remember today? What decisions and commitment will you make? What course of action will you follow that will distinguish your year ahead from all the rest? The year which starts today is indeed a golden opportunity for you. It can be the best year yet. It can be filled with success and achievement, joy and meaning. It can be all these things and more through your active and enthusiastic participation. Think for a moment how fortunate you are to be here on this New Year's Day 2019. Think of how far you've come. Think of all your positive possibilities. Look ahead and see yourself becoming the person you truly want to become, accomplishing the things you really want to accomplish. You can surely do it, and today is a great place to start. The new year is here. No golden treasure ever imagined could hold even a fraction of the value of what you have right now, today, on the beginning of this new year. It is yours to live. Make it great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our opening hymn this morning, page 72, Song of the New Year. We'll sing all three verses, page 72. Rise when you're ready.
Thank you.
morning. Can you hear me? So, you opened all your new things? Nobody's even shaking their head. Are we too old to get new things? I got a few new things. How does it feel to get new things? I think it feels kind of cool. It's a nice feeling. But does that take away your love of the old things? Oh, not for me. As a matter of fact, I like to pull out my old things now and then, turn them over and look at them. I'm going to read to you from Luke. This is Jesus being asked lots of questions. And the scriptures say, instead of answering them all, he just told them a parable. And so here it is. No one tears a patch from a new garment and sews it on an old one. If he does, he will have torn the new garment, and the patch from the new will not match the old. No one pours new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the new wine will burst the skins, and the wine will run out. And the wineskins will also be ruined. Let's think for a minute about what in our life might be an old wineskin. So we're thinking it through. I see some people nodding, okay, I figured out what my old wineskin is. Well, we also hear in the scriptures that the inward man, our inner self, is renewed daily. So if we're being renewed daily by all of our new knowledge, our new experiences, are we still putting all that newness into an old wineskin? Are you ripping off a piece of your new garment and just kind of patching it over your old garment? I want to be renewed every day. I want to be renewed in my mind and my spirit every single day. But I know if I'm going to keep doing that I've got to take off the old garment. Don't worry, I'm not going to take off anything right now. But yes, I got to take off that old garment. I don't want to just put a new patch on it, on the same old, same old. Yeah, there's a lot of things about me that I know. And I know that I'm one with God. I know that about me. The trouble is learning to know that about you. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, let me leave you with this word. Please don't burst your old wineskins. It's not worth it. Let's put our new wine into new wineskins. Say with me our statement of being. God is all, both invisible and visible, one presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am the individualized expression of God, and I'm ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a chant I learned from some friends. It's called All Will Be Well, and it has an author whose name I can't remember. Sorry about that. But I wanted to sing it for the new year because every year we come across challenges in life, and this chant has really helped me to remember that no matter what we go through, all will indeed be well, and it's helped my health and my outlook every single day. And I invite you to sing along with me if you want, or just listen and meditate. Take a deep breath. All will be well, all will be well, all will be well. 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 All will be well, all
Time for our meditation and prayer. Do we have any? No. Because we don't have any on paper does not mean that we don't have any. So if you would just reach forth your hand if you have someone you would like for us to remember in prayer. It could be you, it could be a friend. Most gracious God, creator of all we know and all that we have and all that we see, we thank you for the trust that we can have to bring a prayer to you and see that person in perfect harmony of mind, in perfect harmony of body, and in perfect harmony of spirit. We bring that person's idea, that person's essence of being to you, and trust that you are the great physician, and that all is well. Now let us get comfortable and quiet. Taking a deep breath. Let that deep breath fill you with a peace, a calmness. And for now, in this place, in this time, let us forget or lay down all that we perceive separates us. I know that it's difficult sometimes to see that we are all one. We see the skin, we see our clothing, our warm coats. And we say, yes, there are many of us, but no, there are not many of us. So let's take in deeply into our hearts now the perfect idea of who we are. Let's know that we're one. Let's let our deep call to deep. See the Christ in you and the Christ in others. Know that it is one Christ. Let our hearts beat with the Christ heart this morning. Let us all know together as one that our strength comes from that oneness. In the quiet, feel it. Sit with it. Focus on it. Take a few moments now. To be still and know the oneness. For just a little while, reach down to that deep gratitude that we have for the peace that passes all understanding. Come unto me, says the Christ mind within. Come unto me and I will give you rest. I'll give you rest from all your false thinking. From all that you perceive separates you from all others. I'll give you rest from those thoughts, those perceptions that you are separate from the one source. I'll give you rest. Help us know this day that we are getting new wine. And let our hearts be open as a new wineskin. Thank you, God, that we can accept a renewing of our mind and spirit every single day. And now in the quiet, let us pray the affirmative Lord's Prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed is thy name. Thy kingdom is come, thy will is done on earth as it is in heaven. Thou givest us this day our daily bread. And thou forgivest us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And you lead us not into temptation, but dost deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdom, and all the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Oh, forgive me for my tongue-tied. Bleh. You know, we are often reminded of who we are by the people around us. I say today we have a new message. It may sound like it's just a patch on our old garment. But I believe we're not here by accident. I believe we're here by divine order to hear a divine message. I'm going to declare to you who I am. And I'm working on declaring this often and always. I am an individualized expression of a divine piece of the divine whole. I'm eternally one with infinite source. I am in the image and likeness of the eternal as it expresses in living form. That's who I am. Now forgive me and don't take offense. You know, my mother always said if you say that, then don't say it, she's going to be offensive. Here goes. I've been working for the past decade on believing that about myself and about who I am. And now I'm really working on believing that about you. You know, sometimes we have a hard time getting that two-ness out of our brain, right? Especially if it was ingrained in you from youth. And I will admit that, yes, it's easier to see myself as divine as maybe it is to see someone else as divine. I mean, after all, you have all kinds of faults and imperfections, right? Let's ask ourselves an important question. Do we really, really think of ourselves as offspring of an unlimited God? So I'm asking you, are you just talking the talk? Do we really think of ourselves as a being of wisdom? Well, I know you don't. I've heard several of you say in just the past month or so, oh, I'm so stupid. I can't do anything right. I even heard someone say, "Why do I walk this earth?" I know we've said things like that. You see, our acceptance that all of life is just one life and that we are one with ultimate cause is very intrinsic to our spiritual growth. You know, Jesus said, "I and my Father are one." But I'll say to you quite frankly that I get angry, I feel betrayal sometimes, I feel frustration with people and the things that they do and the things that they say. I am learning, and it's happening quicker and quicker for me, thanks be to God, to remember that wherever we are, God is. Let me ask you this day, on the eve of New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Eve. Have you been looking to the world as your source of happiness, your source of joy, of love, of peace? I know we get frustrated with the politics of today. And sometimes it's hard to love the politicians, but can you think of them as one with you? Ouch, that could be difficult. You see, because I can remember that I am ultimate joy, I am ultimate wisdom, I am ultimate peace, I am ultimate understanding, what I'm learning and what I'm trying to practice is that I can take that with me wherever I go. I'm learning that rather than looking for something to make me happy, I just try to bring happiness wherever I am or into everything that I do. See, when we know that we're loved, then we don't have to wait to be loved. We can just bring love to all of our relationships. I'm sorry that Kate is not here, but Terry is. So, you know, sometimes it's hard to love those little children. I'm speaking to the teachers out there. I don't really get kicked in the shin, but I'm going to use that as a figure of speech. Sometimes I just feel like they're just kicking me in the shin every day. But I've got to bring love into that situation because that's who I am. And Melanie, remind yourself that's who they are. Yes, I'm looking for that intrinsic good. See, here's what I found is interesting. We are created to move in perfect harmony, to live in total unity, and love unconditionally. So I already have that. I have perfect love. I have perfect love. So my purpose here, and maybe yours too, is to learn how to use that perfect love in totally messy situations. In a totally messy situation. Now, I'm not talking about romantic love, of course. I'm talking about that deep, deep knowledge of oneness with the one Creator, the Source. And I'll admit, I have a hard time doing that sometimes. Sometimes even in a car, I might have what you call road rage sometimes. But what I'm learning is when someone is in my life to thank God for that experience. You know, we often say to ourselves, what in the world do we do? How do we see goodness in someone who shoots someone at the mall? How do I see goodness in that? Close your human eyes. And then you get to decide in every moment, in every situation, who am I in that situation? You know, I did a speech, I'll call it a speech, a talk, right after the Virginia Tech massacre. I don't know if you remember that, where there were 33 people killed. And some people didn't like it that I was thankful and loving to the young man who held the gun, who also lost his human life. And people around me at the time didn't understand. They were like, how could you feel sympathy for him? How could you feel empathy for him? Look what he did, how many lives he destroyed. What about the families? And all I could keep thinking was, he has a family too. A mother who loved him, probably still does. He has a family. I would never choose to do what he did. But if I believe that I am the individualized expression of God and am ever one with this perfect life and perfect love, then I have to believe that about him too. Are you going there with me? I know it's not easy. But I have to believe those kind of things. I have to believe that each one of us is an individualized expression of God, and that we are ultimately going to feel and see the good. And even if we don't see it here, we can see it here. And each and every single situation or event that we come across gives us an opportunity to be the grandest and highest version of ourselves. So here's some new wine for you to think about. When you find yourself in conflict with someone, we must learn to be awake and aware to what is happening. To remember who we are. And then remember who they must be also. If we really try to do everything, make every decision from a place of love, our world is going to be a different place. But it's going to take some practice and some thinking. Renew your mind, even if you do it every single day. Know that what is true of God is true of you, and therefore it must be true of all your neighbors, even the ones who you judge are doing something horrific. So let's ask ourselves, what do we know to be true of God? Look at this tattered and torn little book. Have you been reading it? You can renew your mind with it day by day. So we know the inherencies of God. We know them to be true. Infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite knowledge, infinite understanding, infinite power, infinite life, and infinite joy. Can you truly know this then to be true of you? And can you truly know this to be true of all? Because I declare to you that it's the knowing that It's the knowing of that truth that sets you free. I'll say to you too that if you can remember to do it, if you can remember to even say it out loud in the midst of someone banging your cart at Walmart and then blaming you for being in the way, if you can say to yourself, I behold the Christ in you, then perhaps you won't be beaten up. Perhaps that woman will just smile at you and say, yeah, okay, sorry about that. Huh. I'm saying to you that this kind of truth has to be recognized in order to be realized and to become a power in our daily living. Recognize this and every time as a holy instant. And my friends, I believe through this very holy instant right now, we're sharing that our vision is enlarging. I believe that you want this. I believe I want this because you're here. And you're bringing this awakening to your experience. You're allowing me to share my awakening and my experience with you. And I know we will realize our potential. Truth is it's changeless. Let's realize and understand that today. And I believe that this kind of message is going to keep coming to you and keep coming to you until your soul feels satisfied that you've got it. I believe that once you're awakened to this divine knowledge, you will see yourself and your experiences with others differently. I believe you're going to behave differently. I believe you will approach and interpret conflict differently. Remember that contrast in our lives is awesomely beautiful. While sometimes conflict and contrast is going to bring up emotions inside of you that we call pain, or anger, or jealousy, or frustration. How do we thank God for that? You just do. You thank God for the opportunity. Call the emotion what it is. Man, I'm angry right now. I'm feeling that anger. Thank you, God, for what experience and learning and growth this is going to bring me. Isn't that better than throwing in a few cuss words? Yes. And someone once told me you can't feel anger or even jealousy or frustration if you're smiling. So I've been practicing that. Not that kind of clown-like smile, but a real genuine smile that comes from the inside out. And thanking God that all these emotions that we sometimes call negative emotions are really not negative at all. It's our human indicator. It's our human indicator that we're experiencing contrast. And now that you have that knowledge, now that you're enlightened, you can immediately begin to recognize in that situation, this is something I do not want to feel. I felt it, I'm finished. Thank you for this indication that I need to turn to my Christ mind. And you can and you will state with certainty then what it is you do want. I want to love you. I want to remember who you are. And then you can say to yourself, man, I'm living a powerful life. A powerful life. Someone once said to me, you know, ignorance is going to stay with you until you have enlightenment. And I've learned from this little book that revelation will come when I'm ready for it. So I say today, open up your new wineskin. Here comes some new revelation. And your life can change immediately. I want to read something to you from this little tattered and torn book. It's page 194. It's about self-examination, which is a good thing to do on a New Year's Eve, right? Self-examination is essential in learning to live true to principle. Let each one candidly, unsparingly question his own habit of thinking. I know what I am. Am I constantly recognizing this? Are my daily decisions true to what I say I know? Do I ever admit a self apart from God? A part of me unlike God? Do I faithfully and regularly meditate upon and admit only the good as true? Do I refuse to hear? Do I refuse to think or talk about ills? Do I refuse to judge by appearances or feelings? Do I hold to a will, a way, or an opinion contrary to love? Thus, let us give truth control of thought, and inevitably right our thinking, and right doing will result. But be patient with yourself, that when we have learned a new way, perhaps there is some deep-set opinion of the past which might not have ever been fully uprooted. Persistently meditate upon declarations of truth, and the subconscious will in time be cleared. Isn't that powerful? I want us to do a little bit of work today. I have with me some very beautiful, colorful cards and corresponding, or not so corresponding, envelopes. What I'm going to ask you to do today, for the sake of New Year's, is to create 2 affirmations. I want you to write one on one side, an affirmation about who you are, an affirmation about your oneness with God. And on the other side, I'd like for you to create an affirmation about everyone else's oneness with God. And then I want you to practice those throughout this new year, starting right here, right now. And I promise, if God willing and the creek don't rise, then next year I'll give this back to you. And then we'll talk about how your life changed because of those affirmations. And don't be afraid to tell people. I'm making this decision out of my love for you. I behold the Christ. So I'm sure you have a pen. We just handed out wonderful church pens. Oh, those are cards and these are envelopes. I'll take one second. Okay. Well, he only left me with green and gray for you guys, so pick up the green or gray card. Oh yeah, that's in the They don't have to match.
Take a card.
So you're thinking of an affirmation. It doesn't have to be long, just honest about your oneness with God. And on the other side, think about an affirmation about everyone else's oneness with God as well. Oh, did you get an envelope? They don't have to match. It's kind of cool if they don't, actually.
Takes time to do this. Okay, you can keep 2.
An envelope to put it in. Now your name goes on the front.
One for Dale. Okay. One for Dale. Oh, you got one? Okay. Let's get some cards. You need some cards? Oh, you need envelopes? I don't have any more envelopes. Here's,
I have some envelopes.
okay, I'm coming your way.
Who needs some envelopes?
I think I got it now.
Here's one. I've got one. No, I've got one.
I think we got it now. Did you get deals?
Do you need a pen?
You had to be
Oh.
stronger than I was.
Share your pens. I don't see any more. These are envelopes. Here's a couple cards.
Okay, I think we got it.
Here's some envelopes. You don't have to know. Yes, because I want to give it to you. I behold Christ in you.
Okay.
Okay, what is this now?
Did you get one?
Envelopes?
Did you get one? You must.
It's a-
I'm spotting a couple pens right here. You may need one.
Do we enclose?
Oh, yes, you can look at shut if you want to.
Where do these go? Do we put our name on it?
Yes, put your name on the front, because it's going to go right back to you next year.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be fabulous, 2020? Anybody else need a pen? Oh, I'm not going to read them, it's just for you. I'm just going to hold it for you. I know, if you take it home, it'll wind up in the trunk or something of your car.
So you're gonna hide them in here
I'm
somewhere?
not going to hide them, but yeah, I'm going to keep them safe for you. Keep them on. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, joy, I love that. All right. Thank you, thank you. Put your name, I got yours. And if you still have yours, you can put it in the basket when we're passing it around. I'll collect it up. Oh, did you get a card? Oh, okay. You can see it. I'm not gonna look at it. All right. You just keep thinking, don't feel like you have to rush. Now, can you commit yourself to practicing those affirmations? See? Look for a changed life. And you know, your life can't change without others around you changing. Here you go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay. You ready, Pam? Thank you. Yep, put Pam C. All right, if you still have yours, don't worry, we'll get it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Did you do the haircuts? Just say something about this.
Thank you all for being so patient with each other.
While she's finishing up with this task, I want to draw your attention.
Louder.
Nobody can hear me?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding.
I can hear you.
Yeah. My name's Lee Gouffre. A lot of people know me and knew my husband Gonzalo, who passed this year. I want to tell you an interesting story about this creche that is there. I discovered that in my house. My husband had ordered it for me. He did not tell me about it, and he put it away. I discovered it after his death. But I think that it is a beautiful remembrance of him, those of you who knew Gone, a beautiful man, an intelligent man, a loving man. And we, over the years, have produced these for the church. There's another one out there that's homemade. I hope they haven't thrown it away. But in any event, this was the one that was the gift for me this year. And so when I saw it, I said, no, I will share this with the people at Valley Community Church, and there it is for you.
Thank you. All right, friends, let's pray for just a moment. Most gracious, loving God, we come to you with a smile on our face today, feeling like one happy family. We trust in your strength, your infinite wisdom, our Christ mind. We thank you that we're learning to believe who we are and work from that. In this messy, sometimes messy world. May each experience give us newness. May we stop judging any of it as good or bad. And may we just simply be grateful for the experience and opportunity to once again recreate ourselves in you. And may we do the very interesting and sometimes messy work of seeing you and the people around us. Thank you for the opportunity, again and again, to renew ourselves. Not just on this day, not just on New Year's Day, but all days. Thank you, dear God.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you too.
I play at a lot of different churches, and don't tell anyone, but you guys are my favorite. Melanie, your message made me feel so happy and so good. It's a great reminder, so thank you. This is a song called The Revolution, and I actually rewrote some of the verses a couple days ago just because I wanted to renew the message. When I first wrote it, it was more about environmental sustainability, but I realized you need the spiritual sustainability, and you need to, it starts within. So anyway, Rick's gonna play with me, so everybody, hand to Rick. Okay, and feel free to sing along. Ready? Birds are picking up our debris, bits of paper, plastic, whatever they see. And that is how they build their homes for free. Pick up the pieces of the junk we left behind. Pick up the pieces and build something new. And that's exactly what we need to do. Politicians like people die. We ask why. We're programmed to compete with everyone we meet. It's time to change. and lie, but it's your enemy who started the fight. Everyone believes their side is right, so we argue over who planted the seed, while we consume ourselves with anger and greed, instead of finding solutions this world needs. Politicians lie, people die, we ask why. Programmed to compete with everyone we meet. It's time to turn around, rebuild your life part by part. 'Cause the revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. You fight against violence and oppression. You fight against terror and aggression. But do you even know what you're fighting for? So I rewrote the words a couple days ago, and now I'm blanking out on the last verse. Oh wait, I got it. Okay, I got it. There's so much rage, so much division. I suggest you turn off your television. Go outside and have a conversation. Different people are everywhere you turn. The more we open up, the more we learn. Tear down those walls and let them burn. Politicians lie, people die, we ask why. Programmed to compete with everyone we meet. It's time to turn around, rebuild your life part by part. 'Cause the revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart. One more time. The revolution starts in your heart, in your heart, in your heart.
Oh, it is always such a blessing to have you here, Joy. Thank you. It's now time for the blessing of the gifts. And if you all will read along with me, sing the blessing of the gifts. Today I
Acknowledge God, omnipresent, as the source of all good, as the source of my good. With this acknowledgement, I accept His will, which is abundant in every aspect of my life. I release all thoughts of lack and limitation, and I am open and receptive to the increased flow of abundance to me right now. I joyfully accept the gifts of life and give freely of the special gift that I am. Through me, God omnipresent blesses and multiplies this gift for all. Thank you, dear God.
All right, let's do it. Turn and thank someone for the special gift that they are.
I did, I just.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
All right, along with our special gifts that we are sharing with each other, please take a slip of paper and pray for that person. It's okay if you don't know who they are. God knows the need, and we feel confident that
That a wonderful gift to me. Absolutely. Knew that, you know, I would get Thank you for sharing. Well, I figured I'd just jump up and say something. That's fine.
She's done what she's doing.
Thank you again, Joy. That was just great. It's always a way to have you here, and we won't tell everybody that you're, we just got to see what you say. Okay, I'm passing around the flower calendar for 2019, also the birthday cake calendar. So if you can do a birthday cake for the birthday one of the months, we would greatly appreciate it. You can bake it or you can buy it. We don't care. Whatever. Except for Melanie, she has to make one. You did such a wonderful job last year. So you should.
Jim will let me buy one.
She had to learn how to use a mixer. Anyhow, tomorrow night, as New Year's Eve, we will be having our New Year's Eve party get-together at 6:30. Bring something to eat, to share with people, and whatever you want to drink. I think we're going to play games. I don't know exactly what these people have planned, but be here at 6:30 or by 6:30 or whatever. And we always like to get together on New Year's Eve. We don't stay to midnight, but we stay and have a good time. So anyhow, come on out and join us.
Jane, can we get a show of hands of people who intend to be here tomorrow night? Those who think they plan to be here tomorrow night?
Come here to me. Christmas Hill.
No, I have to.
How many is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Rick.
8.
Okay.
8. Oh, 9, yeah, 9.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Are you gonna be here? Okay, cool.
I hope to be.
Okay. I'm gonna call a couple of the people that aren't here today that I think may be here too, so. Let's see, I got that covered. Also, on Tuesday, New Year's Day, we're going to undecorate the church. We're take down the tree and put all the decorations away. So we're going to do that around at 10 o'clock Tuesday morning. So if you can join us to help take that down and put the decorations away, it takes a lot less time to take it down than to put it up. But also, so we appreciate any help we can get there. And if anybody wants to, I'm going to go to breakfast at 9. So if anybody wants to join me, that's going to help take down the tree. That's
Where are you going to breakfast?
well, if you tell me you want to go, we'll decide. We can go to Anthony's or we can go any other place that you want to go. So I just need to know who's going to be here, and then we'll decide where we want to go. Or we can go to the Toast, whatever. We'll work that out. Also, Marita sent me this on the email the other day, and the Divine Science, I guess this is the school that's going to do that class?
No, that's the Federation.
The Federation.
Yeah.
And they're going to have I think it's a 12-week class. It is Divine Science, it's Principles and Practice. It's on a teleconference, is that correct? And it's going to start on January the 13th. And we thought maybe people that might not want to come out at night might want to do this. So if you're interested in it, I have all the information. So just let me know the information. It starts on January 13th, and it's 7 o'clock, and it says it will last about an hour to hour and a half each. I don't know what the night that's on. 13th is, I have to look that up. But anyhow, trying to figure it up in my head, but I can't get it that good right yet. Also, let's see. I know we've had these things going on, the Thursday nights we've been doing this, and so because of the holidays, things have been switched up. So because of the holiday coming up, we will not have anything on Thursday, this coming Thursday night. Then the following Thursday night should be movie night, but I'm moving the movie night to Saturday night so we can show the movie that Forgiveness movie, The Power of Forgiveness. And so hopefully more people can come to see that. We'll show it started at probably 6 o'clock. I'll talk about it, maybe we can get pictures or something before, but it's a very good, powerful movie, and I think that's why I wanted to do it on a Saturday night so that more people hopefully can come see it instead of during the week. So I will be announcing that again, but we'll do that on January the 8th, January the 12th for the movie night. Also, out in the foyer, we used to have this, I don't know what it was, hanging over the sign at the door out there. But anyhow, Dale has made us a new sign, and if anybody did not see it today, please take a chance to look at it. He did a wonderful job, as he always does, and we thank you so much, Dale, for doing that. We very much appreciate it. So
It's labor of love.
no, it is, and it's very good, and so just take a chance to look at it, and thank Dale for doing that. So we appreciate it. One last thing before, we have several people in our church that are, they have some physical handicaps, and so going forth from today, I want to mark off these first 4 parking spots here for, I don't want to call it handicap, I don't like to use that word, but anyhow, for people that need to be closer to the church, that have a heart issue or walking, and also the one parking space up here, and one of them will be Marina's spot.
The PC word for it is access.
Okay, thank you. So anyhow, I'm gonna, and if we need more than the first 4 spaces over here, we'll do that. But I know that there are some people here that really struggle to get across the parking lot, so I want to start doing that. And if I'll try to get some signs to put out there, but if not, I want to, I'll be pushing that for the next couple of weeks so people understand. Because I know that, it's, even though people don't have handicap stickers, they still have, some of them are having issues. So, I just wanted to make sure that we try to take care of our people as much as we can. So, yes, ma'am.
What are we going to do about but the guest musicians, because they usually park in those 2 spots?
Well, we can let them park and unload, and then they can go.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with that at all. They can actually pull up to the door like I always do and unload stuff, and then I'll be glad to do that. But so they can just move their car. That's not a problem at all. We can do that.
I just wanted, so they're aware.
Yeah, and I'll make them aware as they come in. So Joy already knows now.
Yeah.
So she'll be back in a couple of weeks, so she'll know. But anyhow, yeah, we'll make that. I'll
Scold me
make
if I forget.
that. You're gonna be in the parking lot though.
No.
So anyhow, is anybody else, do you have anything?
We're meeting on Wednesday night.
Okay, all right, we're meeting on Wednesday night, and the coffee will be on Wednesday night, but we will not have anything on this Thursday night. But we will be undecorating the tree on Tuesday, 10 o'clock.
Reads and discusses.
And that's, there was something else I wanted to, I forgot what it was, but anyhow, I'll think about it, I'll tell you before it's over.
And all sorts of interesting
Do your day, yes.
Our closing hymn is page 9, Let There Be Love on Earth. I'll sing it all the way through, page 9.
right. Join together. We can joyfully look into the eyes of the carefully constructed family that we have here. Take a moment to feel gratitude, to know that you've been given the grace of this group, that we love each other as a family, and that when we look into the eyes of each other, we're looking into the eyes of God. May the Christ consciousness rise in you. May we be forever grateful. Amen.
Amen.